Welcome to this module called Healing Your Inner Child. You're really going to get a lot out of this module. It is one of the most challenging, but one of the most rewarding modules in this course. The reason why is that your inner child is your gateway to the kingdom of light, abundance, love, peace, and oneness. You know, when people talk of being blocked or cursed, or when they say, oh, the law of attraction isn't working for me, or when they say that they have certain problems or troubles that keep following them all their life, they try and solve them. They think they're solved for a little bit and then they come back. Or when they just can't seem to get things right no matter how much they try, especially in certain areas of their lives, or when they keep choosing the same types of partners, relationship partners, that maybe treat them wrong in the exact same way. Each type, they change a partner, that new partner treats them just as bad as the old partner. And no matter how many times they try, it's as if all these relationship partners are calling each other and conspiring to treat this particular person in a certain way, or some people have a recurring weight or health issue that just won't go away, or maybe even a fear of authority, maybe even an inability to accept uh, love and affection, or even to be able to ask for help. There's some people who just can't ask for help. Anyways, you get the picture. All human problems are tied to the inner child, one way or another. At least in my experience, and from everything I've observed and experienced and even read or whatever, it's as if 99%, maybe even 100%, I'm not sure, but I don't want to say 100%, but the bulk, almost all of them, of human problems are tied to the inner child. Healing the inner child is the solution to healing the problems. Okay? The illusions that put us in problems are pretty much the wounds of the inner child. Let me just say that again. We get in problems because of beliefs that are false, beliefs that are actually harming us. And we call these beliefs illusions, okay? Now, where are these beliefs held in the subconscious? Because I think we can all agree that our beliefs are held in the subconscious. And we can all agree that we have some beliefs that harm us, are not good for us in so many different ways. So, my question to you now is, where are these beliefs, for the lack of a better word, stored? The answer is this: they are held, in fact, they are the wounds of the inner child. These negative beliefs or the illusions that end up causing problems in our lives are actually the wounds of the inner child. Okay? The wound of the inner child is the negative belief that you can say, another way of saying wound of inner child is saying negative belief. Okay? They're one and the same thing, according to my experience. Okay? Therefore, healing the inner child is the solution to healing the problem or the illusion. Okay. Now, fortunately, we have already covered the module on the undefeated mind and on emotional vulnerability, because you are soon going to need all the skills you learned in those modules. They're really going to come in handy when we're talking about healing the inner child. You're definitely going to need emotional vulnerability. Okay. You're definitely going to need an undefeated mind. That is because we will be diving into the darkest corners of your psyche to bring light to them. And you will need strength and emotional and mental tools. So, luckily, we're already armed. And I really do hope that you have watched those two modules: emotional vulnerability and undefeated mind. If you haven't, please stop right now and go back and watch those and finish them. Okay? Because without that, what we're about to talk about here may either look unachievable, too difficult, or ridiculous. Like you might not even know how you can do it. You do need to have seen those modules before coming here. Additionally, this is also part of the Know Thyself modules, as you can see from the Temet Noske sign over here. In fact, besides the modules on A Course in Miracles that we're going to cover later, no other module really gets into the subject of knowing thyself as this one does. Anyways, this will become clear once we dive in. So let's do that right now. Let's dive in. This is David Cameron Gikandi from www.miracles4.me. And like we said, let's dive in right away. Now, this quote from Jesus says that, "Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom." I think this is an interesting quote. It has multiple interpretations. So I'm not going to insist that you believe in whatever my interpretation is. And in fact, I myself have heard about 3 or 4 different interpretations of what this means. At least 3 or 4 that make sense to me. I'm sure there's dozens others. But I would like to encourage you to hold it in your mind as we go along. At the end of this module, you will get a chance to form a new interpretation of your own based on what you're about to learn. So hold on to it as we move forward, and we will revisit this quote soon. So this is going to be very interesting and fun. Get ready for a grand adventure into your subconscious, your inner being. In this journey, you will discover the treasures that are hidden in your darkest corners, immense riches stored in secret places. First, you will discover the seeds that give rise to the limitations or problems in your life. And then, right at the very end, we're going to discuss how to transform those seeds so that they instead give rise to previously hidden powers that were in you all along, but you had no idea that they existed. And again, as we go forward, keep in mind that we've already learned a lot in the undefeated mind and the emotional vulnerability modules. So you will need to bring that knowledge into this module, because the undefeated mind and emotional vulnerability is what you're going to need to apply to your limitations that we discover in this module. And by applying that to those limitations will be transformed into the hidden treasures that we've just mentioned. Let me say that again. The treasures are not something that I or anyone else can tell you what they'll be. The only thing that I can tell you is that whatever your troubles and limitations are right now, your subconscious blockages, let's say, for example, whatever they are, once you bring an undefeated mind to them and you bring emotional vulnerability to them, they automatically transform into a hidden gift, a treasure. So actually, it stops being hidden anymore, and now it comes out to the surface. Okay, so I don't want to set you up with an expectation that this module is going to teach you a treasure, or give you a gift directly. No, it won't. What it will do, what this module will do, is bring to light your subconscious, your limitations, the illusions that you hold in your, or the false beliefs that you hold within you in your subconscious that are causing you trouble. This module is going to help you bring those up to the surface, up to the light, so that you can see them clearly and know, aha, so this is exactly what's bugging me. But you and only you can do this. You will need to bring to the table an undefeated mind that we've already discussed about before. And you will need to bring to the table emotional vulnerability to these challenges, to these subconscious beliefs. Once you bring that to the table, all of a sudden you'll experience automatically a transformation. That's when alchemy will happen. Okay? It is in this transformation that you're then going to discover these hidden gifts that we're talking about, these treasures. Okay, so I hope we've understood that very clearly. Okay, now finally, before we move on, I believe that what we're going to cover is going to be very simple to understand, but in case you do need to go deeper and really dive in deeper into this whole concept of healing the child within, there are two books that I would really recommend. Book number one is What If You Had Controlling Parents, and book number two is Healing the Child Within. And I'll give you a link to both books later. Let's just proceed for now.